Hey friends, a Chinese AI called DeepSeek has really shaken up the world. American tech companies and even the US stock market are so shocked they never even dreamed this could happen.
The release of DeepSeek AI from the Chinese company should be a wake-up call.
And it all started on January 20th, 2025. A Chinese research lab launched an AI chatbot called DeepSeek R1, and they also released a research paper about it. In that paper, they said their chatbot is better than the most advanced ones in the world in tests like math and reasoning. It beat OpenAI's ChatGPT R1 model, Meta's Lama, and Google's advanced Gemini all at once. DeepSeek not only performs the best, but it's also more efficient and took the least time and money to develop. The best part is that you and everyone else can use it for free. Meanwhile, OpenAI charges $200 a month for its ChatGPT R1 Pro model, and training DeepSeek only cost about $5.6 million. While American companies like OpenAI, Meta, and Google are spending billions on their AI models. Not long ago, when OpenAI's founder Sam Altman was asked if other countries could create foundational AI models like ChatGPT.
But if you want to build foundational models, how should we think about that? With, not 100 million, but let's say 10 million could actually build something truly substantial.
He arrogantly said no one else could do it, only they could. And trying would be hopeless.
It's totally hopeless to compete with us on training foundation models you shouldn't try, and it's your job to try anyway.
Now, Sam must be feeling pretty hopeless, because just a week after DeepSeek launched, it became the most downloaded app on the App Store and Google Play Store in America and around the world. It even left ChatGPT behind. By January 27th, America's financial markets were in chaos.
The launch of DeepSeek, which is a Chinese-built chatbot, immediately rattled investors and wiped a staggering $1 trillion off the US tech index.
Before DeepSeek came out, the world's most valuable company, Nvidia, was valued at $3.5 trillion. But in just one day, its value dropped to $2.9 trillion. Nvidia makes computer chips that are used to train and run AI. Their shares fell by 17% in just one day, and the company's valuation plummeted to $589 billion, making it the biggest one-day loss ever seen. The benchmark for US tech companies, the Nasdaq, also fell by more than 3%. But why did Nvidia lose so much value? There's an interesting reason behind that, which we'll talk about later. For now, let's dive into the story behind DeepSeek. Where did this AI come from, and why did it shock the world? Before we get started, please subscribe. The credit for creating DeepSeek goes to a 40-year-old Chinese entrepreneur named Liang Wenfeng. Take a close look at his face. It's not very clear because he rarely appears in public. He likes to keep his identity hidden, and not much is known about his life or background. What we do know is that in 2015, he started a hedge fund called High Flyer, using math and AI to make investments. Then in 2019, he founded High Flyer AI to focus on researching artificial intelligence algorithms. In May 2023, he decided to use the money he earned from his hedge fund to start a side project, creating an AI model. Liang said he wanted to build his own AI model that was better than all the others in the world, and his motivation was pure scientific curiosity, not money. When he built his research team, he didn't hire experienced engineers. Instead, he brought on PhD students from China's top universities. They trained his AI model with some of the toughest questions in the world, and in just 2 years, after spending only a few $1 million, he launched the DeepSeek R1 model.
It's super impressive. I think we should take the development out of China very, very seriously.
DeepSeek just taught us that the answer is less than people thought. You don't need as much cash as we once thought.
Only 200 people worked on it, and 95% of them were under 30 years old. Compare that to a company like OpenAI, which has over 3,500 employees. Today, DeepSeek is the only Chinese AI company that hasn't taken money from tech giants like Baidu, Alibaba, or ByteDance. It's pretty interesting to look at how DeepSeek is built. It uses what's called a chain of thought model, just like OpenAI's ChatGPT R1 model. The naming can be a bit confusing because ChatGPT has given its models some strange names. Let me explain simply. ChatGPT was first released for the public as GPT-3 in November 2022. Then in March 2023, they launched GPT-4, which was much better. In May 2024, GPT-4o came out. GPT-4o was a multimodal version of GPT-4, which means you could not only talk to it through text, but also speak to it and even send it photos. It could understand photos and even generate images for you. That's why it's called multimodal. Then, on September 12, 2024, OpenAI launched its O1 model. This was the first model based on the chain of thought concept. When you asked it a question, it would think before answering. By thinking, I mean that before giving you a reply, it would ask itself, should I give this answer, or is there a better one? It would look at the question from different angles before replying. This process is called the chain of thought, and it's an attempt to mimic how humans think. For example, if you ask ChatGPT 4o, which is bigger, 9.11 or 9.9, it answers right away, saying 9.11 is bigger, which is wrong. But if you ask the same question to ChatGPT O1, it takes its time to think, counter-questioning itself like, is this the right answer? In one instance, it thought for 18 seconds and then answered correctly. 9.9 is bigger, and if you ask DeepSeek the same question, it gives you the right answer. The older AI models had a big flaw, but using the chain of thought process has fixed that issue. That's why models like O1 and DeepSeek are called advanced reasoning models. They're much better at logical thinking. Another cool thing about DeepSeek is that it shows you exactly what it's thinking, step by step, before giving you an answer. For example, when I asked it, give me one truly original insight about humans, it started thinking, what makes humans unique? But then it questioned itself. But those traits are pretty well known. The user might need something really original. It goes through different angles, and if you watch its answer paragraph by paragraph, you can see how long it's thinking and how many possibilities it considers before giving the final answer. After a lot of thinking, it concluded that humans are the only species that uses storytelling as a cognitive exoskeleton. Meanwhile, when ChatGPT-4 answered this question, it just replied instantly without much thought. Similarly, if you ask older chatbots to choose a random number, they just pick one right away. But if you ask a chain of thought model like DeepSeek, it keeps thinking. Look at this screen recording. DeepSeek gets tangled up trying to decide which number to pick. It wonders, should I give a commonly used number? Or maybe a number between 0 and 1? I could say 42, but then it thinks that might be too cliche. Or maybe 17 or 73. Should I choose a number between 1 and 100, or go beyond that range because the user asked for something completely random? It's like an overthinker. Finally, when it gives the answer, it explains that it decided to stick with a range of 1 to 100, and then it chose the number 42. After DeepSeek was released, it shocked the world, but it also faced a major limitation: censorship. If you ask it any politically sensitive questions, like what happened in Tiananmen Square in 1989, or what criticisms exist about Xi Jinping, it will give the same response every time. It says, sorry, I'm not sure how to answer this type of question. How about we talk about math, coding, or logic problems instead? However, if you ask about other world leaders like Joe Biden, Donald Trump, or Vladimir Putin, it will give detailed answers about them. In fact, all Chinese AI models undergo a test where they are asked around 70,000 questions to make sure they provide safe answers to politically controversial topics. After these tests, Chinese AI models avoid answering such questions altogether. The Chinese government, through the Cyberspace Administration of China, is the one that enforces these safety protocols. Some people have criticized this, saying that DeepSeek could just end up spreading Chinese propaganda in its answers. Despite this, DeepSeek is open source software, which means its code is publicly available. Anyone can download it and run it locally on their own computer. You can use DeepSeek in two ways. One, you can download the app from the App Store or Google Play Store and use it directly. The other way is to download the entire code and run it on your own system. This way, you can modify it to suit your needs, and some people have even removed the censorship entirely from the model. For example, Perplexity AI downloaded the DeepSeek R1 model, removed the censorship, and now you can use the uncensored R1 model there. Microsoft has done the same thing. In a news article from January 29th, they announced that DeepSeek R1 would be available soon for use in Copilot. Because DeepSeek is open source, despite being Chinese, it's getting a lot of attention from American companies. This is in stark contrast to OpenAI, which, when it started, promised to be open source and work for the public. But in reality, OpenAI has not stayed true to this promise. Elon Musk, while trolling, has even called OpenAI closed AI. Now, a Chinese AI model is more open than OpenAI. Let me also show you a performance comparison between the top AI chatbots, like Google's Gemini, Alibaba's Qwen 2.5, and Meta's Lama. If we compare these to DeepSeek, we see that, according to artificial analysis, DeepSeek is the best for coding. Next in line is ChatGPT, then Claude, followed by Qwen 2.5 and Lama. When it comes to quantitative reasoning, DeepSeek is also on top, followed by Lama. A test by PC Mag found that in terms of news knowledge, DeepSeek is the best. In calculations, ChatGPT and DeepSeek are equal. ChatGPT is great at writing poems and making tables, but DeepSeek really shines when it comes to solving riddles. According to the artificial analysis website, ChatGPT scores 90, while DeepSeek R1 scores 89 in quality. However, one big downside of DeepSeek is its response time. It takes about 30 seconds to answer a question. For example, Owen takes 31.1 seconds, but DeepSeek takes 71.2 seconds. This delay is getting worse these days because DeepSeek has become so popular that everyone wants to use it. Their servers are overwhelmed and busy. Even with this slow response, when you compare Owen and DeepSeek, DeepSeek still comes off as more innovative. One example of its innovation is the mixture of experts method. With ChatGPT, no matter what question you ask, it works as one single model, whether you need an engineer, a doctor, or a lawyer. But DeepSeek splits itself into many specialized models. In DeepSeek, the roles of engineer, doctor, and lawyer are separate. Because of this division, the data transfer time is reduced. Also, the number of parameters that need to be active is reduced. Traditional models keep 1.8 trillion parameters active all the time. DeepSeek, on the other hand, has 671 billion parameters, but only 37 billion are active at any one time. The rest are activated only when needed. This makes its overall efficiency much better. Another criticism against DeepSeek is that they're accused of stealing AI models and using proprietary models to train themselves. People say they've seen evidence of distillation, where the output of a larger model is used to improve a smaller model, so that the smaller model can perform just as well. Someone even tweeted that the house of the thief has been stolen. In a way, ChatGPT has also been accused of stealing 17 major writers, including George Martin, the writer of Game of Thrones, filed a copyright infringement case against OpenAI in September 2023. The New York Times, along with 8 American newspapers and many Canadian news outlets, also filed lawsuits against OpenAI and Microsoft. This led to viral memes showing a fish being fished, suggesting that OpenAI keeps taking from the same bucket. As users, this might seem good for us, but at the national and company level, AI wars are raging. In 2022, the American government imposed export controls to stop other countries, especially Chinese AI companies, from using advanced computer chips needed for AI. This included NVIDIA's H100 chips, which Chinese companies couldn't buy. This posed a big problem for DeepSeek, as they needed these chips to train their AI models. America tried very hard to ensure that no other country could develop foundational AI models by limiting access to the necessary chips. But the team at DeepSeek was forced to innovate. They developed software that uses very few resources and works more efficiently. That's why companies like Google and Firefox have seen their stock prices fall. Just a few months ago, big companies like Meta, OpenAI, and Google were saying that to scale AI, we needed more chips, more energy, and more money. DeepSeek proved that you can do it with less money, less energy, and even with outdated computer chips. We should see this as motivation. If it can be done in China, it can be done in your country too. We just need to focus and put our energy in the right direction. On a personal level, take this opportunity to upskill yourself in AI. If you haven't started learning about AI yet, you're not too late. Now is the perfect time to learn AI and boost your productivity and efficiency through it. There's no doubt that those who ignore this technology will be left behind in the future. It's hard to imagine a world where AI isn't a part of every sector and every field. Comment below which AI is best, DeepSeek or ChatGPT. And if you like this video, share it and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.